What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing okay. Now, in today's video I wanted to discuss vulnerability within relationships and how a lot of guys are scared to enter a relationship because they feel like they have so much pressure to consistently be the strong one, consistently be the leader, never show any weakness, never be vulnerable. And I wanted to talk about a couple of things today that might challenge those beliefs, or at least challenge the way that they have been twisted with social media and some influencers online. Look, first and foremost, I think it is important to be strong within the relationship, to solve any issues as and when they arise. Try and be calm, try and be composed. And to be fair, those are qualities not just for men but for women as well. And I think first and foremost it's important to clarify that, because I don't think they're inherently bad virtues. I think they're very good virtues, and I think they're things that if everybody followed, we'd be in a better place. But where I draw the line is this idea that you can never be emotional. You can never go through hard times and not be certain with exactly how you're going to deal with it within the first 30 seconds of a problem arising. This is an unrealistic expectation that a lot of guys will carry. And furthermore, a lot of creators within the sort of self-help space will promote to their viewers. It's very unrealistic. Let's say you're with a woman for 50 years. You think in those 50 years, she's not going to see you stressed a few times. You think she's not going to see you cry a couple of times. Maybe when your parents die, or maybe when something really nasty comes up in life. Of course. And it's pretty normal. Now, we don't want to take things too far and become some blubbering crybaby who can't control himself at all. But we don't want to go on the other end as well and create this false persona whereby in the entirety of your marriage, you're pretending to be something that you're not, and you're suppressing what you actually think and feel, therefore not being authentically you. And authenticity is one of the pillars of masculinity. So a lot of these masculine guru guys who talk about constantly being in control of the emotions and never ever showing emotion, and always being the strong one and always having an answer to a particular problem, are not being authentically themselves. Because we're all completely honest, there are problems that come up in life that sometimes you don't know exactly how to deal with, at least within the immediate moment. There are times in life where you get stressed. There are times in life where emotions will come around. That's normal. But to pretend otherwise and to put on a face for, potentially a 50-year or 60-year marriage, it's exhausting. And guys, what I wanted to say within this video is that if you adopt this way of thinking and you try and morph yourself into something you're not going to enjoy your life as much as you would if you were just being a bit more authentic. Yes, be a leader. Yes, be strong. Yes, be dependable. Yes, be capable. But don't put on a face or a brave act for your entire life, because then you are not the most important thing, and that is you, authentically you. It's important that sometimes you accept that you're not going to have the answer for everything as and when it comes up. You accept that sometimes there are problems that are difficult. Process those emotions, deal with it properly, and then crack on. But the guys that put on a tough act and a brave face for years and years and years, in most instances, from what I've read, from what I've researched, from what I've seen, these guys at some point or another will have an episode where they lash out or they break down because they have all of this pent-up anger and rage and frustration and sadness that they didn't deal with properly because they wanted to look a certain way. And that's not good. That's a life of pent-up anger and frustration because of how you may be perceived. The other option is to just be who you are. To just be you. Be strong. Be a leader. But don't live your life pretending to be something you're not, through fear of how your partner or friends or family may react to you. Because if you're being authentically you and you're being a good person, a genuinely good person, and you're providing value to people's lives, then nobody's going to have a problem with you every now and again getting stressed, or every now and again, maybe being emotional, maybe once a year or once every couple of years or something like that. Is what makes you human. And another thing is, guys, you don't see what these guys are actually like behind the scenes. You don't see what they're like when they're with their partners. A lot of this is probably just talk for the camera. You imagine being in a relationship with somebody for 50 years and expecting not to show any emotion. That is an exhausting thought. Exhausting. And it sounds like hell. It does. Now again, I want to make this point crystal clear. This video is not designed to to make the crybaby's life easier. If you're a crybaby and you just sulk and moan all the time, and you really like the sound of being able to be emotional all the time because you are an emotional guy, this isn't for you. This is not the point of today's video. I still want guys to be strong, to have their emotions in check, to have control of their emotions, but to drop the expectation that you're going to have that 100% of the time forever. Because that's not realistic. And do you not think that your partner, your wife or your girlfriend is going to know that you're bottling things up? Women have an incredible sense for emotions and sniffing things out. You really think you're going to be with somebody for 25, 30, 50 years and them not figure you out? You're working so hard to put on this act and this bravado as such, but they can see through it anyway. And the only person you're really harming is yourself, because you're not being authentically you, and you're putting all this effort into this act, and you must look tough, and you must look like the alpha, and you must look strong. It is just depressingly exhausting. And a lot of guys would be in a better place and have less anger and less rage, and then subsequently crime rates and attacks would drop if they just were authentically themselves. Talked about, what's going on a little bit more. Not blubbering, not whimpering, not crying, still being capable, still solving issues, still, for the most part, being in control of their emotions, but dropping the unrealistic expectation that you're going to go every single day of your life without showing a sign of emotion, without showing a sign of vulnerability. We're humans. We're extremely vulnerable. Extremely vulnerable. We think in this body we're strong. We think we're superheroes. We're all the main character in our own story. But life's over so quick. We're a vessel. We're really not this strong thing that we think we are. Now, it's good to be as strong as you can be. It's good to be tough. It's good to be brave. It's good to be courageous. All of the masculine virtues that are not taken too far are excellent. And I think uphold society. I really do. I think it's essential. But it can get pretty damn ugly inside your head if you're living your entire life pretending to be this strong guy who never has any problems or never has any flaws. I would say, in fact, that the guys who are more open about that, not too much because you can turn into a crybaby, but the guys that are open about that garner more respect because they are open about their struggle and they are open about the difficulties they have faced, and then they go and conquer those challenges and overcome those hurdles. And for me, that's better than the guy who tries to hide weakness and tries to deflect his weakness from other people. I would say forced strength is a weakness. It's not authentic. And a lack of authenticity is anything but masculine. So, look, I hope you took some value from this one today, and I hope that maybe you agree with some of the things I've said. If you do, let me know your thoughts down below. Hit a like on this video. If you're new around here, consider subscribing to my channel. It makes a huge difference, and I want to grow this channel as much as I possibly can, and we'll see how many subscribers we can get by the end of the year. Right now we're on 1,050. So let's see. Hopefully the YouTube algorithm pushes this out there and we can get the ball rolling on this channel. But yeah guys, as always, thank you for your time and your attention, and I will see you in the next one.